the reconstructed I-35W bridge. Orlando Cabrera ready to make his Twins debut. And another good crowd in here on a Saturday night. Twins have drawn over 30,000 fans for 6 straight games. And here's Mike Scioscia's Menards batting order. For game 2, Sean Figgins leading off. He'll be followed by Maicer Izturis, Bobby Abreu, Juan Rivera, Kendry Morales, Mike Napoli, Eric Ibar, Gary Matthews, and then Sean Rodriguez getting the start in left field.
And the scouting report on Anthony Swarzak making his 9th start, his 9th major league start. For the first time he's had to face a team at the major league level in back-to-back starts. And we showed you his great outing in that start last Sunday in Anaheim, where he beat the Angels 10-1. And he has shown that he can make the adjustments. Hopefully he won't have to make too many of them here tonight.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Michael Cuddyer out. Young, Gomez, Span in the outfield. Nick Punto switching over to second base. We will see that more often than not now with Cabrera on the club. Mike Redmond catching. Fret not, Twins fans. Joe Mauer is the designated hitter. Delman Young, who hadn't played much over the past week or so, getting a start in left field. Michael Cuddyer probably won't play at all for the balance of this series. Figgins takes a strike on the outside corner.
Cuddyer bothered by that back that took him out of the ball game last night. Talked to Michael Cuddyer. He said, "Oh, hopefully just be a couple days. Probably ready to go on Tuesday."
Twins have another scheduled off day on Monday. Foul back, 2 strikes. I would think this would be the ultimate challenge for a young pitcher trying to make his mark in the major leagues. He's come up with 1 good outing against maybe the hottest team in the American League, and his next start is against that very same team.
We'll see how Swarzak does. So far establishing that fastball.
Little pop foul. That'll reach the seats.
And that's what you want to do as a pitcher. You want to work on that fastball both sides of the plate, and then work in the changeup, the breaking balls, whether it be the curveball or the slider from Swarzak. Anthony only 23 years old in his 2nd stint with the Twins.
To center, hit almost right at Gomez. So the question of novice or someone who never played would ask, does Swarzak come back and does he try to give the Angels a different look, or does he stick with what he did last Sunday afternoon until it doesn't work?
You stick with what got you there. You know, you have confidence in your fastball. You have confidence that you can get a breaking ball or a changeup over in situations that call for a fastball. And you go about your business. Whether you're facing the club for the 2nd time or 3rd time in a row, you still have to hit your spots. That's the biggest key.
And he hit a strike there, 1-1 to Maicer Izturis. When Swarzak pitched against the Angels, they were on a roll, and they'd handled the Twins pretty well for 3 games, particularly in game 3. Swarzak had some first inning control issues, but he did not give up a hit until Morales' home run in the 4th inning.
Well, what I've seen from Swarzak, he has very good control, but he can be wild at times, and that's to his benefit.
Cabrera gets his first chance, scoops it up. Nice play for the 2nd out. And I would imagine you're a new player. You want the ball hit to you pretty early on, don't you?
Well, this is his 13th major league season. He's done this many times, going to his left to make that play right there. But that first one, that has to feel good right there to get it over with. And Roy Smalley, you know what that feels like.
Well, you know, I could tell you that Orlando Cabrera was hoping maybe it would just be an easy 2-hopper right belt eye and not an in-between hop going to his left. He was going to have to jump up and make a real acrobatic play. But what a professional. He gets the first one, a little nervous, and makes a terrific play.
2 down. Here's Abreu, and there's been so much talk about Cabrera in advance of his actually being here and what he might mean to the lineup. The Twins need a number 2 hitter, and maybe less has been made of his 2 Gold Gloves that he's won out there at short. Doesn't have the range that he once had, but a pretty sure-handed shortstop to boot.
And he plays every day. He played in all 101 ball games for the Oakland A's, and he's had years where he has not missed a ball game.
1-1 to Abreu. With a big home run for the Angels last night. Curve that clips the outside corner.
Well, he started him off with a curveball, then went fastball down and in, and then another breaking ball. Abreu, a .395 career hitter against the Twins. You see the breaking ball, outer half of the plate. 49 for 124 at-bats for Abreu against the Twins.
Line foul. Abreu, foul ball, hit a fan, and hitters notice that. Can't help but not be affected by that. 1-2. Called third strike. So a very strong first inning for Anthony Swarzak. Batting order for Ron Gardenhire. Bernard Span leading off Orlando Cabrera in his Twins debut, facing a guy he's had some success against. Then Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Joe Crede, Delman Young, Mike Redmond, Carlos Gomez, and Nick Punto.
And a scatter report on Joe Saunders, making his 22nd start this season for the Angels. His last win came 6 starts ago, and that on June 24th. Over the last 6 starts, he's 0-2 with a 9.39 ERA. And his biggest problem has been his inconsistency with his control. 30 2/3 innings over the last 6 starts, 20 walks, and 47 hits allowed. A lot of base runners Joe has given up.
Span, Cabrera, Mauer. Span's average has been on a steady climb.
Denard currently on a career-high 9-game hitting streak where he's hitting .361.
Takes up and away, ball 1. Squares to bunt, takes a strike.
Saunders making his first start of the year this year against the Angels. He made 2 last year. He beat Nick Blackburn here at the Dome 1-0 in Nick Blackburn's first major league start. And then Glenn Perkins beat him in Anaheim 9-0.
A chopper back to the mound. A high throw caught by Morales. 1 away, and here's the newest Twin.
Number 18, Orlando Cabrera.
Nice applause right there by the Twin fans, welcoming Orlando Cabrera, who's currently on an 11-game hitting streak. So Twins got him while he is hot.
Had a great month of July. In fact, nobody in the American League had more hits in the month of July than Cabrera. And he takes outside a ball. Thrilled to be here. Glad to be in a pennant race again. And for so many reasons, this is a perfect fit for the Twins. Somebody who has been there, knows what it takes to get there, and then knows what to do once he's there, speaking of the playoffs.
Well, you can see the Twins have had a concern in that new number 2 hole. You take out Joe Mauer, who was hit there. The rest of the guys hitting only 190. I think he will hit better than 190 in that 2 hole.
Not known for drawing too many walks, just 25 walks and 414 at bats. And not many strikeouts, 39.
A lot of his hits will go the other way, up the middle toward right field. And Saunders working the inner half of the plate. Saunders with a fastball that's clocked as high as 93. A slurve type breaking ball, a curveball, slider, and a changeup. When he's on, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs with that sinking fastball. Like
Bouncer
that.
to second. And Izturis over to Morales, 2 down. Northland Ford defense for the Angels, with Sean Rodriguez getting the start in left field, Gary Matthews Jr. in center, Bobby Abreu in right, Figgins, very good, solid defensive player. Ibar Izturis up the middle, Morales at first, and Napoli catching. Jeff Mathis, the regular other catcher for the Angels, has got a bad back, might not play in this series. Here's Mauer, the designated hitter tonight, will probably catch tomorrow. And a strike on the outside corner.
Mauer, a big 3-run home run in last night's ballgame in the 3rd inning, gave the Twins a 3-2 lead. His 18th home run of the year. 0 for 5 lifetime against Saunders.
Slice to the left field corner. Foul by about 5 feet. 2 strikes.
Saunders, 27 years old, in his 5th season with the Angels. Last year, a 17-game winner. Made the American League All-Star squad. Started off the season 5-1 with an ERA under 3, but it's been a struggle over his last 14 starts.
Just off the plate, 1-2.
Over his last 14 starts, 3 wins, 5 losses, an ERA at 6.39.
1-2 to the Twins DH. And chopper between Jerry White and the line. Joe starting to develop a bit of a spread. Significant one between righties and lefties. He's still hitting over 300 against lefties and just under 400 against righties. And he takes ball 2. Saunders, as difficult as life has been for him for the last 5 weeks or so professionally, he's one of the guys that kept the Angels afloat early on when nothing else was going right for them. And again, just wide of the outside corner, a full count with Morneau on deck.
Got John Lackey back into rotation. He's been pitching very good baseball. Angels have a 3-game lead coming into this game over the Texas Rangers, who are playing just as good as the Angels themselves.
Chopper to the right side. And sideways hot. Mauer is retired on a close play. Good play by Morales, who had to field a sideways hop and then lift it to the pitcher.
The Twins, welcome back. I'm Robbie Smikowski, and today Orlando Cabrera arrived in Minneapolis St. Paul Airport, and you see him tonight wearing a Twins uniform. But this caps off a very, very hectic week and a half for the new Twins shortstop. It was a week and a half ago. He was part of the Oakland A's and their 16-1 victory over the Minnesota Twins. Thursday, he flew across the country, played a game at Boston. At the Yankees at Boston, and he flew back, was traded, and then had to jump back. Now today, his flight got delayed a little bit. He had an 8:30 flight out of San Francisco Airport because he lives closer to San Fran than Oakland. But got a little bit of a delay, made it to the ballpark at 3 o'clock, and had a late meeting with the media, and was able to stretch between, who else? The M&M boys are the first guys he sat between and started talking to in his first stretch with his new team. He said yesterday, who doesn't like M&Ms?
Thank you, Robert.
Anthony Swarzak pitching to Juan Rivera. Missing once, missing twice, 2-0.
Well, Rivera was not in the lineup when Swarzak faced the Angels last Sunday. Very good numbers for Rivera.
And he laces a solid single to left. So Swarzak fell behind Rivera, then paid the price with a sharp single to left. That'll bring up Kendry Morales.
Fastball right there, and the level swing right there of Rivera, lining it in the left field. First hit goes to the Angels.
And now Morales hitting .292. Even with this lineup, without Torrey Hunter, without Vladimir Guerrero, and they hope to get those guys back in the next week or so. There's no soft spot in the first 7 spots of this Angel lineup. They're all hitting, well, 311, 300, 321, 314, 292, 287, 313.
Yeah, they're hitting .288 as a ball club, the second in the American League as far as team average. The Yankees at .276.
And now Swarzak gets ahead of the next hitter, 0-2.
Swarzak has been able to get 6 double plays turned behind him in his first 8 major league starts.
Two strikes to Morales. Morales, who got the first hit against Swarzak last Sunday in Anaheim, a home run. Fouled away.
Mike Redmond sitting inside, the ball inside, Morales fouling it away. Swarzak in that last start, 6 2/3 innings, he threw 122 pitches. The most pitches any Twin starter has thrown so far this year.
If you watch the game, you might remember last Sunday the Twins bullpen was pretty much wiped out with what had happened earlier in the series in the road trip. So the Twins tried to milk an extra inning out of Swarzak, get him through the 7th. And he had a long inning, and the pitch count kept climbing up to 122. 2 strikes again to Morales. And another foul. And from memory, that's exactly what happened in that 7th inning. It's not that Swarzak pitched that poorly, didn't have too many control issues, but the Angels just kept fouling a lot of pitches off as they did throughout that series.
Well, those fastballs up right there, up in the strike zone. We see it from Scott Baker a lot, that a lot of those fastballs that don't have a lot of movement, that are about belt high and above, hitters will foul those off a lot more. Now get the ball down.
High fly to right. Span back to the wall. Has it measured. 1 away. That might have been higher than deep. It's the first out of the 2nd inning. Dairy Queen's Miracle Treat Days right around the corner, and Matt Guerrero has the details.
Fox Sports North and the Minnesota Twins encourage you to visit any participating Dairy Queen location on Thursday, August 13th for Miracle Treat Day. For every Blizzard treat purchased, $1 will be donated to Gillette Children's Specialty Healthcare. Visit www.miracletreatday.com for a list of participating locations.
Good job, Matt Guerrero.
Here's Mike Napoli. Napoli had a great night at the plate last night. Hits his first 4 times up, including a game-tying home run against Matt Guerrero.
Yeah, single, double, single, and then the game-tying home run to tie the game at 5 apiece. Twins ended up losing that ball game in 11. It's the only hit that Matt gave up. He retired the next 6 straight by striking out 3 of them.
You know, and you look at that pitch, I mean, it was a fastball down at the knees. Sometimes a good hitter, or in this case a hot hitter and a good hitter, can hit a good pitch.
Well, you've mentioned this young man right here, Mike Napoli, very strong. In his 4th season with the Angels. Let's take a look at the pitch last night from Matt Guerrero. Ball's down in the strike zone, but Napoli hitting a 16th home run of the year, a solo home run, tied it at 5 apiece.
1-2 to Napoli. Foul back. Roy Smalley, Mike Napoli, very strong hitter from the right side of the plate.
He sure is, Dick and Bert. I talked with batting coach Mickey Hatcher with the California Angels, my old teammate and resident crazy. And but he's a fine hitting instructor, and he said he tells this guy, pretend like you're on the driving range, swing hard in case you hit it. He's got tremendous power to all fields. He said don't ever get cheated.
Curve just off the plate, 2-2.
And he does not get cheated. I remember the double last night. I believe it was a breaking ball, and he just swung so hard and hit that ball sharply down that left field line. That off of Nick Blackburn, that in the 4th inning.
2-2 to Napoli. Pulled foul.
Last couple of years, it was Jeff Mathis and Mike Napoli that kind of shared time behind the plate, and it's Napoli who gets most of the playing time now. You said that Mathis is out with an injury, but Mike Scioscia, no better the guy to learn from right there. Mike Scioscia, former Major League catcher, his 10th season as manager of the Angels.
They called up another catcher, Bobby Wilson, in case something should happen to Napoli, but I think the plan is for him to catch all 3 games here. One of the things the Angels do very well is run the bases and steal bases.
Yeah, Rivera not a threat at all. No stolen bases in no attempts. So get a ground ball right here.
It's a deep fly down the left field line. Delmon Young, I don't think sees it.
Not see it.
And a foul ball. He wouldn't have caught it anyway. But it was a tall one, as was Morales' drive to right center, and Delmon Young didn't see it.
I've been on that mound before when an outfielder reacts the way that Delmon did right there, and your heart just falls to your shoes. You're hoping that it goes foul. He has no idea where the ball is, and luckily, it's a foul ball.
Even at that, an example of the power of Mike Napoli.
You wonder if the third base umpire, Mike Everett, even saw it until the fans maybe reacted.
Another 2-2 to Napoli. Chopped it. Foul. Pitch up around the letters, and he still got on top of it.
Well, this is where you start making the adjustment right here for Swarzak. A lot of the fastballs have been up. That changeup was up. The curveball that Morales hit the deep right field, that stayed up in the strike zone. You tell yourself sometimes, okay, I'm going to go with the breaking ball. I'm going to try to drop it right on top of home plate.
There's a ground ball. Creedy drops it and has no play. A rare error charged to Joe Creedy.
Yeah, maybe trying to do it a little bit too quick right there. The ball kind of came up on him a little bit for Joe Creedy, just his 4th error of the year. The ball, he stays back, and the ball hitting the heel of the glove, and then he couldn't get the ball out of the glove. Wanting to make sure he was going to get at least one. And the Angels now have a couple runners on with one out.
And now Ibar will hit. Ibar with a torrid July to get his batting average over 300. Down low, ball one. Swarzak had a nice tidy first inning. He's thrown a lot of pitches here in the second. Still has only one out on the board.
Ibar kind of a pesky little hitter. Good slap type hitter, a 300 hitter from both sides of the plate.
Gets the inside corner with a fastball.
5 switch hitters used in the lineup tonight for Mike Scioscia.
That's to left center. Young with the catch, and out number 2.
Delman saw that one. You could tell by the way that he reacted as soon as the ball went off the bat. Going running over to left center to make the catch.
And that'll bring up Gary Matthews Jr. Torrey Hunter with the Angels. You've seen him on your screen. He's just not fully recovered from a lingering injury that finally put him on the disabled list.
I talked to Torrey today. He's raring to go. He knows he's still about a week away.
When I talked to him out in Anaheim, he referred to Minnesota as his home. Asked him how it was on the West Coast. Oh, great organization, having a great time, but it's not home. And I think he'll always consider this place where he was named to the All Metrodome team as his baseball home. At the knees, 1-1. Gotten into the White Sox. They've won the first 3.
Yankee pitching.
I guess. Apparently 14-4. Most of that was done against A.J. Burnett early on. They've been pitching awfully well for the Yankees. The other game of interest, of course, for Twins fans, followers of the American League Central, we'll get you an update later on. It's Detroit playing at Cleveland. Look at the standings. The Indians hosting the Tigers on Victor Martinez bobblehead night tonight.
They'll have that in Tampa. Remember Jason Tyner bobblehead night?
Right.
He was nowhere to be found.
He was in Durham in AAA.
Right.
So there'll be 10,000 Victor Martinez bobbleheads in Cleveland, but Victor won't be there.
And he's bobbling in Boston.
1-1 to Matthews, and now inside 2-1. Realistically, every reliever was used last night. Brian Dunsing, technically a relief pitcher these days, but the Twins don't want to use him pending the status of Francisco Liriano clearing itself up positively. And now 3-1, and so with Maharis, Dickey, Crane, Guerrero, Nathan, and Keppel all used last night, the Twins would like a deep start by Swarzak again. But this has been a rather exhausting second inning for him. Liriano's going to throw a bullpen session tomorrow. The Twins hope that he sails through it no problem. And then Dunsing officially will be a relief pitcher again.
Dangerous count right here for a pitcher with a couple runners on.
Driven to right center field. It'll find a gap. It'll score 1. It'll beat Gomez to the wall, and 2 runs will score. Matthews digging for third. Punto's throw on a hop in time to get him. Perfect throw from Nick Punto to get Matthews at third, but 2 runs score. And as they did last night, the Angels take the first lead. The International Falls native and NFL great. Played for the Chicago Bears way back in the 1930s. You ever been through International Falls?
No, I have not.
I've gone through there twice on my 2 Canadian fishing trips. And had to go through, make sure that we weren't taking anything illegally into Canada and not bringing too many walleyes back through into the United States. Here's Justin Morneau. Creedy and Young will follow. Of course, the addition of Orlando Cabrera meant someone had to be sent down, and it was Brian Busher, who served as a backup first baseman to Justin Morneau and a backup third baseman.
And knowing Brian Busher, he will take that option down to AAA and get some at-bats and hopefully be back in September when the Twins can hopefully expand. Well, they will expand their roster.
Another ground ball. 4 ground ball outs for Saunders. In the short term, the Twins are a little thin behind Morneau at first base because Michael Cuddyer, who served as a backup, Twins don't want to use him because of the slightly wrenched back. Busher no longer here. So heaven forbid if something should happen to Justin, if the Twins need a fill in at first base.
Well, Brendan Harris was taking some ground balls at first base today.
Right. 1 down. Here's Joe Creedy. Creedy with a, as it turned out, very costly error in the top half of this inning, and the 2 runs the Angels got were unearned runs. Under the arms, 1-1.
Hi, pretty girl.
Fisted foul, 1-2. Saunders giving up quite a few home runs and walks, more than he'd like, certainly. And they try to come inside and get strike 3 in the inside corner. It's 2-2.
Well, Saunders, Angels' #1 pick back in 2002 out of Virginia Tech University.
Another ground ball. 5 ground ball outs, and that'll bring up Delman Young. Tomorrow's the Twins' annual salute to the first responders of Twins territory. First Responders Day, presented by Memorial Blood Centers, features a pregame ceremony and $1 tickets for all men and women who are in law enforcement, firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, and 911 operators. Tickets must be purchased day of game, and for more information, call 833-TWINS. or visit twinsbaseball.com.
Yeah, thank you guys for all your service. Remember in last night's ball game, Irvin Santana, he didn't get a ground ball out until the 5th inning. Twins were hitting the ball in the air all over the place. And here are the first 5 outs recorded on ground ball outs.
1-1 to Delmon Young.
Again, when Saunders is on, he will get a lot of ground ball outs. Good sinking 2-seam fastball.
2-1. There's one hit in the air and a little flare for a base hit. Young drops a single in front of Matthews with 2 outs in the second.
First hit for the Twins goes to Delmon Young. Saunders throwing back inside with a fastball, and Delmon opening up quickly and hitting the ball softly in front of Matthews in center.
And now Mike Redmond. And Redmond takes strike 1. Morales is playing well in front of the bag. Semi holding Young at first base.
Take a look at Bobby Abreu in right field, how shallow he's playing right there.
Outside, 1-1.
And Gary Matthews Jr. really shading Redmond to hit to right center. Of course, Redmond, a lot of his hits do go that way.
And foul over the net, 1-2. Last night the Angels jumped out in front 2-0. The lead didn't last very long, and the Twins built a 5-2 lead before the Angels caught and passed them. 1-2 to the Twins catcher. 2-2.
Red in his 5th season with the Twins. 7 seasons with the Marlins before coming over to Minnesota. Saunders, very good pickoff move. Delmon Young on the year, 2 stolen bases in 4 attempts.
Two and 2 to Redmond. Now, there used to be a rule, and they changed it, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, that a first baseman had to be in the immediate vicinity of the bag, right? And you can see Morales is about 5 feet off the first base bag. Up high. It's a full count. That'll free Young up to take off early from first.
Let's see what Morales does at first base. Play behind Delmon Young. Now hit it over Abreu's head.
Full count to Redmond. That's chopped foul. Other than Young's looping base hit, everything has been pounded right into the turf here tonight against Joe Saunders. Another 3-2 coming to the Twins catcher. Laced to right center field, and he burned him. Young to third. He's coming around to score. Redmond glides into second base with a big RBI double. So a pair of 2-out hits, and the Twins are on the board.
Good hitting right there by Mike Redmond, getting that fastball, and a typical Mike Redmond hit just goes the other way. A line drive, and it's Gary Matthews Jr. who has to go all the way to the wall to get it. And on a 3-2 pitch, Delmon off with the pitch, and Mike Redmond picks up RBI number 5 on the year. So the Twins cut the lead in half.
Young fan in the dugout by Casilla, and now a drive to left center field. Matthews chasing it, won't get there, it hits the wall. Redmond will score. Gomez puts it in fourth and reaches third base. 3 straight 2-out hits, and we've got a tie ball game.
Still one of the prettiest plays to see when you see a guy with the speed of Gomez able to hit the ball either over the outfielder's head or in the gap. A breaking ball. Gomez jumping on that first pitch. And guys like Gomez have another gear. Usually when they get around second base, they find that other gear. And Gomez head first slide in the third. His 5th triple of the year, driving in his 22nd run.
Punto bluffs a bunt, takes ball 1.
Dick and Bert, I got to tell you, that second gear I watched kick in here at ground level when he hits second base, that is something to see.
Boy, you had that type of speed, didn't you?
Yeah, I just would love to see what the ground looks like when you go by running at that speed.
Somebody forgot to let out the clutch when you hit second gear. We're very happy to have Krista Morneau talking about a special event coming up here in the middle of August. It's Justin Morneau and his friends, a lot of the Twins players as well, for Casino Night, benefiting the Arthritis Foundation North Central chapter. Krista, first of all, thanks for being with us, and tell us a little bit more about the event.
Well, thank you for having me. What's going to happen is on August 13th from 6 to 10 p.m., there's going to be a casino theme night. So it's going to be like blackjack, poker, kind of all the casino games that you can see. It's $100. Actually, the tickets just went up today to $125.
Okay.
And that gets you in, and it gets you chips to play with. And at the end of the night, your chips will equal...
I like chips.
The more the better, right?
Yes.
And at the end of the night, your chips will equal a certain amount of tickets, and then you can put like all your tickets into one specific big item. There's going to be 5 main items at the end of the night.
Well, my goodness, you have a list of already auctioned sports memorabilia that's unbelievable.
Yeah, we have a lot of sports memorabilia so far, and other things for the women too that aren't that into sports. But
okay. Well, such as
for jerseys, I know so far we have Albert Pujols, Derek Jeter, Ken Griffey Jr., Alex Rodriguez. For hockey, we have Brett Hall,
Hockey.
Wayne Gretzky.
Hockey. What?
Well, hockey is Justin's other favorite sport.
I know that. I know that.
So, of course, we have to have that in there. For the basketball enthusiasts, we have Steve Nash donated something. And then
Okay.
for the ladies, there's a spa package.
Okay.
There's also gift certificates for Continental Diamond. So
Okay.
there's a bunch of different things that we have going on.
And again, the date is August 13th at the International Market Square. I've been at some other events. It's a wonderful facility to hold an event like this.
And it's all for the Arthritis Foundation.
It is, correct. Justin and I actually got interested in it because my niece, when she was 2, was diagnosed with JRA, which is juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So she's 5 now, and she's learned to maintain the pain and, manage everything with her family. So we wanted to get it out there that kids get arthritis too. It's something that our family wasn't really aware of. So.
Well, you brought this fact sheet up, and there's 46 million reasons, one opportunity to make a difference, and 46 million adults in the United States reported being told by a doctor that they have some type of form of arthritis. And
correct, and 300,000 children under the age of 17 have arthritis. So, and actually with JRA, I know my niece, she was having problems with her eyes. It can actually cause cataracts, blindness, and glaucoma. So she was having to manage that part of it, as well as now she has shots once a week to help with the pain. So.
And another base hit for the Angels. It's Figgins. And the Angels the best in the business of going from first to third. And Sean Rodriguez makes it, and immediate trouble here in the third inning for Anthony Swarzak. Here again, more information. Tickets now $125. And it's Twins Casino Night. And again, what are the casino games that people can play there?
There's going to be Beat the Dealer, Blackjack, Texas Hold'em, and I think there's 2 other.
Okay. And it's August 13th, 2009 at the International Market Square. Just looking at the list of the autographed sports memorabilia here. A lot of autographed baseballs. Looks like you've got Prince Fielder, Kerry Wood, Miguel Cabrera, David Ortiz, Roy Halladay, Derek Jeter. A wonderful collection. And these are going to be on the silent auction items. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Most of these will all be on the silent auction. We do have a live auction that will be at the end of the night also.
Okay. Maicer Asturis, the hitter, with the Angels threatening to retake the lead, and Swarzak delivers low, ball 1.
Oh, the infield looking for the double play. Again, the speed of this Angel ball club. Sean Rodriguez doing a good job on that line drive off the bat of Figgins, going from first to third. And Swarzak trying the old fake to third and see if Figgins might be taking off. Figgins with 31 stolen bases at first base. This Angel ball club, they like to run. 106 stolen bases on the year.
Third straight hit. And Rodriguez scores. The Angels back in front. Figgins with a scamper over to third base. And the Angels do have some power in the lineup, but this is their attack. Single after single after single.
Again, hitting .288 as a ball club. Guys in a lineup that are hitting well over 300. Another pitch left up, and Swarzak really needs to get back down in the strike zone, the adjustment that I was talking about at the top of the show.
Krista, this event that we've been talking about, is the first time you've put together something like this?
This is the first time. Justin and I just felt strongly about it that we wanted to get the word out there. So it was something we wanted to partner up with the Arthritis Foundation. The Twins are helping. But this is the first year, and we hope to continue it every year after this.
Here is Abreu. Down and in, ball 1. Well, we'll wish you the best of luck on August 13th at the International Market Square. And it's a wonderful event for a wonderful cause. And we know the first one's always the toughest to kind of put together, but they'll come easier after the first year.
Hey, look who they have already. My goodness. Now, is there a limit as far as tickets, or?
So far, there's still tickets available. I know
Okay,
we're
good.
up to about 150 sold.
Great.
We were thinking about 300 is what we're going for.
Good.
So there's still tickets available.
Well, what is your favorite game of chance, and what is Justin's?
I like craps.
Okay.
He likes blackjack.
Okay. All right.
He loves Vegas.
Well, a trip to the mound by Rick Anderson, with the Angels having better luck against Swarzak, better success anyway, than they had last Sunday in Anaheim. Abreu called out on strikes to wrap up the first inning, and it was a nice, quick first inning for Swarzak, a 1-2-3 inning. Since then, though, it's been nothing but trouble.
Let's see what Rick Anderson tried to get Swarzak to do here. And that's probably work out front a little bit. Again, everything up in the strike zone. Swarzak just making his 9th major league start.
2-0 to a dangerous hitter. And now a strike. And Abreu with 72 runs batted in, because he's been a tough guy to deal with in situations like this.
He's got a level swing, good eye at the plate, and he can do that.
4th straight single for the Angels, and they retake the lead here 4-2. Well, what has happened here over the last couple of weekends, there have been innings like this. The 4th inning last Saturday, and then the final inning last night, the 11th inning, where just can't seem to put a tourniquet on this Angel lineup.
I'm blaming it on Christina right here. We haven't had an out since she came on the telecast.
I'm starting to think it's on bad luck too.
Yeah, I'm going to tell Justin. You better get an out right here, young lady.
He's superstitious. You better not tell him that.
Well, Krista, thank you. And we'll wish you the best of luck with the event on August 13th. And for more information, in addition to the resources we gave you on the screen, you can always contact twinsbaseball.com, and they'll have more info, right?
Correct. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. We'll see if we can get out of this inning here.
Yeah, get out of here.
All right.
We need an out. We need an out.
R.A. Dickey will warm up here with Swarzak running into some immediate trouble here in the 3rd.
You know, Christina just leaving here because we need an out, but you know, so many players, I mean, do great things.
It's a fly to center. Gomez lost it for a while. Now he's got it, and we need a good throw here. And it's one hop to Creedy. Gomez got a little extra practice this afternoon hitting the cutoff man. You may remember early in the ball game last night, he overshot the cutoff man. It cost the Twins a run. Of course, the game goes into extra innings. They end up losing it. So, by extension, you could say that the overshooting the cutoff man might have cost the Twins the game. Ron Gardenhire, when he addressed the team after last Saturday's game in Anaheim, he said, any outfielder who doesn't hit the cutoff man, I'll take you out of the ball game.
I just yelled at Christina. She was walking down. We got it out. See ya.
Strike on the outside corner. And so Gardy said, you know, he was tempted to take Gomez out of the game last night after the early inning misfire, firing it over the cutoff man. But he said, you know, we're playing so thin right now, I couldn't do it. But he says, if that happens again, don't be surprised to see the outfielder not in the middle of the inning, certainly, but at the end of the inning. There's a liner to left center field on another Angel hit, and it'll produce another run. They're all singles, but there have been 5 of them, and now 3 runs for the Angels.
I know Roy Smalley's down there. You always talk about taking the pitch where it's pitched and doing something with it, and that's exactly what the Angels have been doing here over the last couple innings.
It's a real professional group of hitters, isn't it, Bert? They are very, very selective, and they take what the pitcher gives them. They don't try to pull those outside pitches. And what I've noticed, and I know you have too, Bert, is you talk about having command with your fastball, establishing the fastball, and Anthony Swarzak just hasn't seemed to be able to do that tonight. He's struggling with his control a little bit, and he's struggling with his control out, trying to get out from the middle of the plate.
There's a bouncer to third. Creedy goes to second. Out there, and a double play. So that takes care of that. But in the inning, 5 singles, 3 more Angel runs, and it's 5-2. through the batting order. Denard Span, Orlando Cabrera, and Joe Mauer facing Joe Saunders, who's been handed his second lead of the night. Span takes a strike. Span hit a little nubber, fielded by Saunders, who threw him out to start the bottom of the first. Breaking ball up high. A big double play when you look back at it. I mean, the Angels were on a roll. A pretty nice bunt right there. Saunders rolls it up the line, and Span gets a bunt single. Perfectly rolled up the first baseline, and then the pitcher rolled it the rest of the way.
Well, keeping that hitting streak alive, Roy Smalley was describing in last night's instructional how you want to sometimes take that ball with you, and that's exactly what Denard Span did right here. Squared around nicely and pushing that ball, taking him with me. Saunders' only chance really to barehand it and try to backhand it over to Morales at first base. He tried to do it with his glove. No chance.
And Bird, did you notice how still his head was and how he stayed there at the plate and made a good bunt and then let his speed take over? We talked about it last night. If you're running too soon, you can't make good bunts.
Here's Orlando Cabrera, hit a two-hopper to second, his first time up in a Twins uniform, and he takes ball one.
And that bunt single right there by Span, keeping his hitting streak now at a career-high 10-game hitting streak.
Kind of an odd situation for Cabrera. He comes to the Twins, but he knows more about the team the Twins are playing. That's slashed into the right field corner, a base hit. Span rounding second, on his way to third. He'll be held there, and Cabrera shoots a double into the right field corner.
Again, this guy can hit. A career .274 hitter coming over to the Twins. Started in with the Montreal Expos. Went to Boston, where he won the World Series with the Red Sox back in 2004. Then 3 seasons with the Angels, Chicago. Started the season with Oakland. And the Twins hope to get a lot of those out of Orlando Cabrera as the season winds down. So double is 24th of the year.
And now Mauer hit a ground ball to Morales, his first time up. Angels, of course, playing the infield back here. They've got a 3-run lead here in the third. Up and in, ball one. Yeah, 3 years for Cabrera with the Angels, and then last year with the White Sox, and the first half of this year with Oakland.
Oh, remember, I talked about Joe Saunders. He coming into this ball game. He has not won since June 24th. A 9.39 ERA over his last 6 starts.
Bouncer headed up the middle. Knocked down by Esteuras, and Mauer retired. A run scores. Cabrera to third. Nice play by Esteuras to keep that ball in the infield.
Productive RBI out right there by Joe Mauer. Not only picking up his 58th RBI, Esteuras utilizing the turf to make that nice play. Span scores the 3rd run for the Twins, and you see Cabrera moving from 2nd to 3rd.
Angels playing the infield back from Morneau. To center. Down for a hit, and it's 5-4. So Morneau jumps on the first pitch, and the Twins are back within 1.
Well, Justin picking up his league lead 84th RBI. High fastball right there, and Justin lining it into center field.
Trying to repair some of the damage Krista did when she was up here in the booth. Roy Smalley, Joe Mauer got a run in with the ground ball. The only man that Saunders has retired this inning.
Bert was talking about what a productive at bat that was, and I really think that's overlooked. Runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. A ground ball to the right side gets 1 run in, and the other guy over to 3rd base with less than 2 out, so he can score on a something other than a hit. That ball that Justin just hit, if the runner's on 2nd base there, he probably doesn't score. He has to wait to see if it's going to get caught.
Creedy with a towering pop-up by the Angel dugout. And he's gone on 1 pitch.
And I know Roy right there. Hopefully you're still on, Roy. That takes a lot of pressure off of, say, Justin right there. Just relax a little bit with a runner at third base with one out rather than a runner at second with one out.
Oh, it really does. I mean, you'd ask any hitter, do you want to be up there with a runner on second and one out, or a runner on third? You can score them so many ways. You have such a great plan when you go to the plate against just about any pitcher, when all you have to do is get him in from third, even without a hit.
Cabrera engaging in one shot with the starting pitcher to his left, and now talking it over with Gomez.
Just talking baseball. You gotta love it.
6 of the last 9 Twins batters have gotten a hit against Saunders. Young with a fly to center. Matthews is there. The Twins answer with 3 hits and a pair of runs. It's a 5-4 game after 3. Already.
Well, 2 unearned runs off of Swarzak in the second inning. The Angels put 5 singles together, but scored 3 in the third. But the Twins come right back with 2 more to make it a 5-4 lead. Orlando Cabrera right in the middle of that with his first Twins hit, that being a double down the right field line.
Anthony Swarzak, 54 pitches with a couple of rough innings in a row, and he really needs to get back in control of this baseball game if he can. Up to Ibar, ball 1. Ibar, Matthews, and Rodriguez. 2 runs in the second were unearned runs. The 3 in the third were earned. Up again, and that's been a common problem for him tonight.
Again, when you're getting beat up and then your club gets you back in the ball game, you have to go out there and try to find a way to put a 0 on the board. And right now, Anthony just rushing a little bit, and you just stay back, create that good downward plane like that. That's a good pitch right there. Good location down in the strike zone. Sometimes we as pitchers, you give hitters way too much credit, and if you just hit your spots down in the strike zone, then you take your chances. When you leave the ball up and the Angels are going to slap the ball over the place, you're almost pitching right into their game.
Shoulder high again, and it's 3-1.
And that's nothing more than just trying to stay over the pitching rubber a little bit longer to allow your arm to catch up to your body. Right now, just flying open just a little bit.
Slump to right center field. Span won't get it. And this inning starts with a hit. It'll be an extra base hit, and Ibar wants 3. And he will reach with a leadoff triple.
Well, the Angels have some rabbits on their ball club. Ibar, one of those rabbits. A 3-1 pitch. You have to come in with a fastball. You hope you keep it down in the zone, but it was up again. And Ibar with his 5th triple.
That'll get R.A. Dickey back on the bullpen mound.
You see that pitch right there, about a letter high, and Ibar, he's looking fastball. It's basically batting practice right there.
Corner infielders even with the bases. Middle infielders back for Matthews, who drove in the first 2 runs of the game with a double. Foul back. Matthews with a double to right center field. He was thrown out trying to turn it into a triple. Perfect relay from Gomez to Punto to Creedy. One and one. 8 Angel hits. In just 16 plate appearances. And a base hit. And it's just not working out for Anthony Swarzak tonight. The Angels are right on it.
Well, the curveball right there just kind of spun right there. Again, I haven't really seen him try to get that curveball to drop on the top of the plate.
And again, every reliever was used. Every available reliever was used. And well, the Twins have to go to the bullpen here in the 4th inning with nobody out.
You see the pitch right there, and Matthews picking up his 3rd RBI of the ball game on his 2nd hit.
First time around, the pitcher won the matchup with the Angels. Second time through, the Angels. Was the last left-hander to lead the American League in saves. Now, did Eddie Guardado ever lead the league in saves? I don't believe he did.
Ryan Fuentes right there now leads the American League in saves right now.
Well, Anthony Swarzak taking a seat next to the pitching coach, and a frustrating outing for both him and for the Twins, because now the Twins have to go to the bullpen on the 4th.
R.A. Dickey worked in last night's ball game, got the Twins out of that 11th inning, one shutout inning through 11 pitches, making his 33rd appearance.
Dickey throws to first, maybe to see if Rodriguez is squaring to bunt. Matthews has driven in 3 runs tonight. Dickey has pitched a variety of lengths. He had to pitch most of the ball game in the series finale against Oakland in the last road trip. came into a bases loaded situation again last night. Dickey retrieves the loose ball in the infield.
He started the season as a starter. He started against the Chicago White Sox back in early April 10th in Chicago. Twins won that game 12-5, and then when Scott Baker was activated, Dickey went to the bullpen. Twice he's worked 4 1/3 innings, his longest stretch as a reliever.
It'll pop up, and Cabrera handles that. 1 away. If you're traveling and you can't watch the Minnesota Twins on FS North, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv, the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer, and catch those you missed on demand. For more details, visit twinsbaseball.com, where baseball is always on. Here's Sean Figgins. I don't know that the Twins had Dickey on the roster coming out of spring training with the idea that he'd be coming into bases loaded situations in an 11th inning. This situation here, more the role that they envisioned he'd fill. Somebody has a short start and they go to Dickey, and he's able to eat up some innings and maybe put some zeros up.
Yep.
But you know, that's at least the 4th time this year he's been brought in out of the pen with the bases loaded.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these guys are saviors really for all the other guys down in the bullpen. If R.A. Dickey can go 3 or 4 innings. A big slow knuckleball right there.
And you know, I think you need to talk with him, but I think we've seen more of that slower knuckleball as this season has evolved. It used to be he'd throw that about 10 miles per hour harder.
Well, he's coming off a bad month of July. He made 9 appearances, an ERA of 7.9. And right there, Matthews gets a very good jump off of R.A. Dickey. Matthews steals his 4th base of the year. And again, this Angel Ball Club, they like to run. 107 stolen bases. Only the Tampa Bay Rays had stolen more bases.
Nice little pickup by Cabrera there on the short throw. So 2-1 the count to Figgins, who hit a single, one of 5 singles in the 3-run third. It just looks like this is going to be one of those games where there's going to be a lot of hits, a lot of base runners, and a lot of runs.
Well, we have a break right here. I'd like to say happy 101st birthday to Marge Garvey. She's over at Southview Acres Nursing Home in West St. Paul. Happy 100th birthday, Marge.
So 100 or
101st.
101st.
When you get up that high, does it really matter?
To Marge, I'm guessing it does. 3-1 now to Figgins. First base is open. The Twins need to start picking up some outs here. And the first walk of the ball game. First and second. 1 away for Izturis. Swarzak will hang around till at least the end of this inning. Izturis with an RBI single his last time up. Ball 1.
Well, at times R.A. Dickey will throw that fastball. Another knuckleball missing.
2-0.
I cannot imagine the feel you have to have on a nightly basis with that knuckleball. Sometimes it floats all over the place. I remember talking to Tim Wakefield once about it. About some days you walk out there and it's just there. I mean, you just let it go and it just floats right over the plate. And other days you really struggle with it. Let's see if he throws a fastball here.
And it's the corner. But it's so important to get ahead of the hitters with the thing, because if R.A. Dickey could survive with a fastball, he never would have picked up the knuckleball, right?
I mean, that's his pitch, a knuckleball, but he also has pretty good control of that fastball. Probably another fastball here away.
Pops straight up. Redmond doesn't see it. And it's out of play. Well, 3-2. We'll see if the Angels start the runners. They have speed on the bases with Matthews at second and Figgins at first. And a 300 hitter at the plate. Pretty good opportunity for Mike Scioscia to send the runners here. And
Cabrera kind of looked at Dickey like, give me a look over here. Then try to keep Matthews close, and there they go.
And a pop up down the right field line. Morneau chasing it. Punto chasing it. And Morneau with the catch, squaring to the infield and delivering a good throw. Nice finish to the pursuit of that ball by Morneau, because he was well aware that Matthews might try to tag.
Well, this young man right here is going to win a Rawlings Gold Glove one year just for plays like this. Picks up the ball. He actually took his eye off the ball right there, caught it, and then sets. And a one-hop throw over to Creedy to keep Matthews at second. Nice defensive play by Justin.
And a big second out, provided Abreu can be retired here. Paul Abreu with an RBI single in the third. And there's a knuckler over for a strike. When you've got a payroll of over $200 million, I suppose you're allowed to make some mistakes, but from a distance, it just looks like the Yankees made the decision to go with Nick Swisher over this guy. And I don't. To me, this guy's twice the ball player that Nick Swisher was, or is.
Yeah, career 300 hitter. Bobby Abreu, 35 years old. 14th major league season.
And it cost the Angels, what, $5 million to sign this guy for 1 year? 1-1 to Abreu. 2-1.
And if he's healthy, he'll get over 100 RBIs.
And if he stays healthy, there's a pretty good bet he'll stay in an Angel uniform. They're very impressed with him, and to the point where some people think that Abreu will be re-signed and Vladimir Guerrero won't. Sails outside. Redmond does a nice job catching it. It's 3-1. So the first one floated over, and the next three have drifted wide.
Yeah, they got the left hand of Redmond shaking it as he takes it out of that big catcher's glove.
So now they're loaded up for Juan Rivera. 2 walks for Dickey. He's tried to keep control of this fourth inning here with so far just 1 run scored.
Well, sometimes you walk guys just to get to that right guy. Let's hope that it's Rivera. Looking at the positive side of it. He didn't want to face Abreu. Abreu's a 390, almost a 400 hitter against the Twins.
What do you usually say here?
Very carefully.
Get a sacrifice fly.
One of those 2-out sacrifice flies right here.
Rivera singled to lead off the second and scored. Then he hit a fly ball to center. Bouncer to third.
See, he knew what he was doing.
The Angels get another run off of Swarzak, and R.A. Dickey gets the Twins through the top of the fourth. free 2 gigs online backup service with Quest high-speed internet. By Grand Casino Mille Lacs and Grand Casino Hinckley. Expect grand. And by Chrysler. From power and efficiency to innovation and style, it's the way our vehicles come together that sets us apart. Chrysler. Well, the Angels rather keep handing Joe Saunders more runs to work with. It's 6-4. Mike Redmond will lead off the bottom of the 4th.
It's been no walk in the park for Joe Saunders either.
Flipped foul, 2 strikes to Redmond. It'll be Redmond, Gomez, and Punto.
Anthony Swarzak worked 3+ innings, gave up 9 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. And he'll sit around and ponder his outing. Saunders has given up 6 hits to the Twins, 4 runs in 3 innings.
1 and 2. Twins with a pair of runs in the 2nd, pair of runs in the 3rd. A pair of runs here in the 4th, get this game tied up. 2 and 2. Redmond rifled a double to right center field. That scored Delman Young for the first run of the game for the Twins. Now inside, and it's 3 and 2.
You can almost see a pitcher that doesn't trust his stuff when he really falls behind an account a lot to the lower part of the lineup.
Well, how about that? He had Redmond 0 and 2 and lost him with the next 4 pitches. The leadoff walk here in the 4th. Let's go to Robbie Ince-Mikowski and Don Chamberlain.
And for that, once again, we take you to Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, where the Indians jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 1st inning. Since then, the Detroit Tigers have scored twice, once on an Adam Everett sac fly in the 5th, and Placido Polanco scores on a Miguel Cabrera single. They are currently in the top of the 6th inning, with the Tigers leading the Tribe by a 2-1 score.
Carlos Gomez takes a strike. Thank you, Robbie.
Hey, Robbie he went in the home run hitting contest.
He did.
Before
Good.
the game, yeah. Hit a home run. He's bragging that he tied you.
Well, didn't take too
Doesn't
much.
say much about Robbie, does it?
That's all I could muster.
Yeah.
And as Roy said, I got inside outed or jammed or whatever he said in slow pitch softball. It was quite embarrassing.
That's not good.
Robbie, that was terrible.
Oh, lefty too, yeah.
I mean, Roy Smalling was all over you, Robbie.
Beautiful
all
swing,
over
isn't
you.
it?
Yeah,
Is
look at
that
that
a
one.
beautiful swing?
Well, what happened to the other 6? How come we show that one and not the other 6?
I
go out there and you show all 7 swings and only 1 goes over the fence, and you make this guy look like Babe Ruth.
The magic of television. That's the magic.
2-1 to Gomez. Great stop by Figgins. My goodness. He took an extra base hit away from Gomez and gets an out at second base.
You know, and that's a smart player there, only because he knew he probably didn't have a chance at Gomez. He knew that Mike Redmond was taking off from first base. And he backhands this ball down that third baseline and then alertly throws a P over to second base for the force out.
Very good, very smart play. So Gomez reaching on a fielder's choice, and here's Punto. Strike on the inside corner. Punto with a bouncer to Ibar his first time up. Strike 2. Be interesting to see how it plays out if the Twins establish a regular second baseman. I would imagine that would be a consideration, wouldn't it, with a new shortstop coming over, to allow one guy, Punto, Casilla, whoever it might be, to allow Cabrera to get settled in at shortstop with his new team. I mean, the last thing you'd want to do to Cabrera, I would think, as he tries to adjust to a new team, is keep rotating people through at second base.
I was talking to Billy Smith yesterday after the trade, and that's when Billy Smith was saying that, you know, he hopes that Cabrera coming over, you know, he'll work nicely with Punto, but he's really hoping that he can work nicely with Alexi Casilla. And the throw over to first. Gomez 9 stolen bases at first base in 14 attempts. Second on the club behind Denard Span in stolen bases.
Punto getting the start here in part because he's gone 3 for 9 against Saunders. Now my memory's right about this, isn't it, about first baseman? I mean, they've been doing this now for a number of years, but Morales maybe does it to the extreme. He's actually 3 to 5 feet off the first base bag.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what the ruling is, how far, you know, that first baseman can get off the bag to get that throw to him.
Hey, Roy, you played an awful lot in the middle infield. How much is it beneficial for a shortstop to have a regular double play partner up the middle?
You know, guys, I think it's ideally you'd have one guy every day, but when I was playing short at the old Met for the Twins, we had 2 second basemen that I played with, Bobby Randall and Robbie Wilfong, and we set a major league record for double plays one year with 2 guys playing alongside me. It's just a question of getting your work in with both of them. It might be a little bit more. Orlando Cabrera might have to spend a little bit more time so he gets used to each one of them, but it's not insurmountable.
Because as a shortstop, all you're trying to do is basically just feed that second baseman the chest area, right?
Right, and really, it's the biggest adjustment is your 2 second basemen will give the shortstop the ball just a little bit differently when they're feeding him. You know, right. So he has to get used to their throwing motions, but it's not impossible to do. Bert, I think you made a great point, though. I think Orlando Cabrera is going to have a huge positive impact on Alexi Casilla.
Just with his presence, his desire to want to play every day. We already saw him talking to Gomez on the bench. I would imagine just about hitting the way he shot that ball down the right field line.
1 strike to Span.
That'll be a great example for Gogo as well, a veteran player willing to hit the ball to right field, which they really want Carlos Gomez to do. But it was fun to see after Cabrera's first at bat. He had taken an inside pitch. He thought it was inside. The umpire called a strike. And after grounding out, he came back and he was telling the other guys, "The ball's moving back. The ball's moving back. It's tailing back in." And talking about how he was going to shoot the ball to right. You know, you have to stay with that tailing fastball and hit it the other way. And walked up and hit it and rifled a double down the right field line just to prove his point. That's a professional player for you.
1-1 to Span. Twins struck for 3 2-out hits and a couple of runs in the second. They'll need to get some damage done here with 2 outs in the fourth. They're going to take advantage of the leadoff walk. Gomez goes and he steals easily. The ball hit him. The ball got by Ibar and hit Gomez, and it got him, I think, right in the mouth.
I think it deflected off of Ibar's glove right here. We'll take another look at it, but Gomez is down and holding his mouth.
And for a while there
the throw short hops Ibar. I don't know if he got a glove on it or not, right into the chin area.
Right around the cheekbone.
Yeah. Ouch.
Scared me for a while because I saw a lot of red in his batting glove, and turns out he wears red and white batting gloves.
Well, Gomez does pick up his 10th stolen base, but he'll feel that one for a while.
Aflac trivia answer: Brian Fuentes.
Aflac. Jesse Orozco.
Oh, couldn't go back that far, could you? B.J. Ryan.
How about Dave Rigetti?
It was Eddie Guardado in 2002. Well, in dismissing our answer, we got it right.
We mentioned his name.
We did.
Well, said we're winners.
Gomez now in scoring position.
First.
And the count to Span 1-2. Span with his bunt single. He averaged up to 290, and he gets a piece of that one. This season series is tied at 4. The Angels have won 4 of the 5 here the last couple of weekends, but the Twins swept the Angels way back in April. One and 2 to Denard Span. Got a piece of it again. He's hoping to get the month of August started on the right foot. But they are trailing here early 6-4. One and 2. 2 and 2.
He's got a good eye at the plate. Breaking ball right there. You'll see guys try to maybe shoot it the other way. Span took it.
Two and 2 to Span. It'll pop up near third. Figgins with the catch. He made a marvelous fielding play on Gomez to help the Twins stay off the board in the fourth.
To be the new head coach of the Minnesota Wild. He comes from the San Jose Sharks, where he was an assistant coach, as we get a world of traffic in front of us. Sorry about that, guys. And they join me live here right above the Twins dugout. And Todd Richards, you're a native of Crystal, Minnesota. You've been a Twins fan your whole life. And just a few moments ago, you were telling me you think you remember Kirby Puckett's first at bat. What was your experience like as a Twins fan growing up?
Well, just a big Twins fan, obviously. I remember going out to the old Met and watching. I remember one game against the Chicago Blackhawks, watching Chet Lemon play, and Rod Carew obviously was playing with the Twins. But really grew up, when I became a teenager going to college, when the Twins were just hitting their prime. Ken Herbert, Kirby Puckett, Frank Viola, Tom Brunansky, all the names. So they've been a big part of my life growing up.
Very nice. And Chuck Fletcher, you're a guy that evaluates talent. You evaluate hockey players for a living, and you did a pretty good job of that, building a Stanley Cup champion. What similarities do you see here, Chuck, between baseball players and hockey players?
Well, just the fact they're both great athletes, hockey players and baseball players, but it's a completely different sport. And
baseball, there's a lot more one-on-one situations, and hockey is a little bit more fluid. There's a little more involvement with all the players on the ice, where here you get a lot more one-on-one interaction, pitcher, batter, pitcher, base runner, those type of situations.
Now, Todd, how fitting is it for you that you come back as the head coach of the franchise, well, the Minnesota North Stars, but you come back to your hometown and you sit in the Dome in the final season?
Well, it's obviously exciting. Again, I grew up with the Dome, and I'm a big fan of the Vikings as well, and I know they play here. But I'm really looking forward to the new stadium opening up as well. I've been to a few other Major League ballparks, and it's always great to sit outside and enjoy a game, and I'm looking forward to that next season.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining me for a couple moments, and we remind you that the Minnesota Wild start their season pretty soon. It's sooner than you think. Opening day 2009 is just over 2 months away, as the Minnesota Wild will play host, their first the regular season opener is October 6th against the Anaheim Ducks. Camp opens September 13th. First preseason game is September 15th at St. Louis. The first home game is September 18th against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Best of luck to those gentlemen. And Bert and Dick, let's try to bring us a little rally here from the booth for the Twins.
Mike Napoli cracking one to the gap in right center field. Gomez fumbled it momentarily. Napoli given credit for a double, and here's Eric Ibar with a 1-0 count.
Yeah, what made that double right there is Mike Napoli ran hard out of the batter's box, and when he rounded first, you saw Gomez have a little trouble with it, and he scooted in the second. So for a catcher, he did a good job of turning that single into a double.
You know, the hockey interviews that Robbie did now, you know, you've pleaded the case for pitchers. They're the best athletes on the baseball field. So I'm wondering who the best athletes are on the ice.
The goalie, of course.
Really?
Oh, yes. Forget about Gretzky and Bobby Hall. And
not
all
a
those
forward,
guys.
not a center iceman, a defenseman. It's got to be the goaltender.
It's the goaltender.
Two and one to count to Ibar.
For some reason, I don't think you'll believe me.
That's squirted foul, 2-2. Well, all I know, you know, and I did Gopher hockey when Todd Richards was with the Gophers, and I've done covered the North Stars when they were here, and I see all these guys, you know, working hard, skating, you know, back and forth and crossways and all that, and these, you know, shifts, and they come off the ice and they're exhausted. And then play stops, and the goaltender takes his mask off and gets a drink of water. He hasn't had any action in his end of the ice for 5 minutes, and he takes the drink of water.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't say the greatest athlete, but the smartest athlete.
You go.
Okay?
There you go.
Pitchers, you know, you pitch if you're a starter once every 5 or 6 days in today's game. Guys have to go out there and bust their tail end night after night, where pitchers, you know, why wouldn't you want to be a pitcher?
Pitch on
you got
Tuesday.
4 days to rest.
Golf Wednesday, sleep in Thursday.
Golf on when you wake up, you go play golf.
3-2, a shattered bat and a little roller to Morneau. So that's out number 2, and on the play, Napoli goes to third.
I don't know if you can get into the kitchen with a knuckleball, but he got into the kitchen of Eric Ibar right there. Watch this swing right here. Let's see if it gets into the kitchen. Oh, yes. Great sound right there as that bat shatters all over the place.
Well, suddenly a very big plate appearance here for Gary Matthews and the Twins. 2 runs for the Angels in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth. And what the Twins need to do to get some momentum back is to start putting up some zeros. Matthews has already driven in 3 runs tonight. Swing and a foul, 1-1.
Gary Matthews Jr. in his 11th Major League season, his 3rd season with the Angels. Had that great year in 2006 with the Rangers, where he made the All-Star team.
Big swing and a miss, 1-2. He entered the game in the fourth, walked a couple guys, but got the 3 outs. Gave up the Napoli double here in the fifth.
Yeah, again, he walked the guys he needed to walk. Two guys that are pain to the Twins, Thiggins and Abreu.
Got him.
There you go.
So a big outs. Matthews strikes out. Dickey puts a 0 up in the fifth.
Hanging out a suite at a Minnesota Twins game. How much fun are you guys having?
We're having a blast. Just hope the Twins can get back in it and pull out a win.
Hopefully they can. Now, I got to show you guys the hat he's wearing here. They rigged his Twins hat and turned it into a groom hat, so that's what he's going to have to wear the rest of the night to show the world that he's getting married. And look, even got the little FSN logo here on the sign. Nice job out of him. And good luck to you, Mark.
Thank you, Robbie, and congratulations. Orlando Cabrera leading off the fifth inning, taking strike one. Cabrera hit the ball to the right side twice, once to the second baseman Asturis, the other time into the right field corner for a double. 1-1. Saunders, who has not won since late June, needs to complete this fifth inning with the lead to even qualify for a win. Cabrera got a pitch up, fouled it to the screen. 1-2. Roy, you were traded around a number of times. I remember when you got traded from the Yankees to the White Sox in the middle of, I think, the '85 season. You always want to try to have a good first impression, don't you?
You sure do. It's funny. Bert talked about it a little bit. It makes you excited to get to a club that wants you, wants you, and you're going to play a role for them. And it makes you feel like a young kid again. They get the young kid butterflies with a new situation.
That's chopped off the plate foul. Cabrera, as he left San Francisco, was quoted as saying, hey, if the A's have an interest, I wouldn't mind coming back to Oakland again next year. And of course, if things work out well for the Twins, this might be a fit here for him beyond this year, but he's a free agent, and Cabrera hopes to finish strongly and hit the free agent market and do well for himself in the offseason again. That's outside 3-2.
He said when he met the press today on the field, I got a kick out of listening to him. He's such an engaging young man. But he said, look, I'm a professional. I'm going to play as hard as I can and represent the city and the team that I'm playing for.
Bouncer to short. And Ibar throws him out, one away. So Cabrera retired, and now here's Joe Mauer. A couple of ground balls to the right side, one of them driving in a run. Twins getting a couple of runs in the second, a couple of runs in the third. Twins wearing the Saturday night specials. The 1982 uniforms are modeled after the 82 uniforms that the Twins wore when they opened up this facility. And Roy, you in 1982, you lasted just about a month, as I recall, before the Twins traded you.
4 games.
4 games.
I played the first 4 games when we opened this place, and played. It was a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think, or something like that. And I came in ballpark on Saturday morning for a day game, and they said, you need to get on the phone with the Yankees because you're going there.
The ground ball to the right side. Mauer's hit 3 of those, and he's 0 for 3, 2 down. You can make your way to the Dome every Sunday for Blue Bunny Kids Days. Buy an adult ticket on the home run board or cheap seats and get 2 free kids tickets. Also on Sundays there are autographs and fun on the Quest Metrodome Plaza, and kids can run the bases following the game. Tickets for Sunday games can be purchased at twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. 2 gone in the 5th. Here's Justin Morneau trying to get something started against Joe Saunders. Hit a single to center and drove in a run his last time up.
Dick, you talk about wanting to make a good first impression when you get traded someplace. How about when I got traded to the Yankees and took Bucky Dent's job?
Oh,
and he was still there.
And Morneau with a solid single to center again. Back-to-back hits for Morneau, and that'll get Greedy to the plate. Hey, Roy, you and I on the phone this morning were talking about Justin and how his swing has evolved over the course of this season. Maybe the swing hasn't, but his approach has.
It really has. You know, Harmon Killebrew worked with Justin a little bit in spring training and wanted him to move up on the plate. He was giving him tips about how to hit more home runs. I mean, obviously Justin can be a perennial 40 home run a year guy. He has that kind of talent. And Harmon was giving him some tips about how to be able to do that. Justin, you'll remember, said, you know, I just can't do it that way. I talked with Harmon, but that's just not my style. I think that has kind of seeped in over time. He's not moved up on the plate. He's not doing anything specifically that Harmon told him, but he certainly has matured as a hitter.
Greedy with a little roller to short. And the Twins get a 2-out hit. But it's still the Angels leading by 2, and we'll have a special moment with Bert Blyleven.
Feeling Bert's number 28.
Well, Bert will work his way back here, and I hope to finally have the answer. What happens to the 9? Bert doesn't have the 9 anymore. Pitch is up and in to Sean Rodriguez as R.A. Dickey. There's the 9. John McAvoy has that. Sean Rodriguez with a single leading off the 3rd. He came around to score. And Dickey's done a nice job. He got the Twins out of a real mess in the 4th. Pitched around a 1-out double in the 5th. Bert and the 9 are heading back to the booth. toward the hole. Cabrera can't flag it down, and it's another leadoff hit. And the Angels led off the second with a single, scored a couple of runs, led off the third with a single, scored 3 runs, and led off the fourth with a triple and scored a run. So now Dickey will try to deal with the number 9 hitter starting the 6th with a base hit.
And watch how Orlando Cabrera tries to play this ball. He dives on kind of on his left side so that if he does catch it, he can jump right up and be in the throwing position. Interesting way to make that play in the hole. Of course, we've seen Derek Jeter, who's probably the best at backhanding that ball and jumping in the air to throw it. I used to like to plant and let my arm take care of it. Orlando Cabrera right there was going to try to slide into it and pop up and make probably a bounce throw over first.
Outside to Figgins, ball 1. Well, Roy, what did you think when you brought the Twins indoors here? Granted, you were only here for a few games, but what did you think of this place when you first walked in here?
Well, it was at first it looked like it was going to be hard to see as a hitter. The first thing I always look at is what's it going to be like to hit in a ballpark, and at first it looked like it was going to be a little hard to see. And then when I got up and started taking batting practice, not only could I see the ball real well, but the ball jumped pretty well. You'll remember in '82 the baggie wasn't out there, right. So it was a short porch and a short fence. And they didn't have air conditioning on at first, and the ball traveled like crazy, and so it was a pretty good park to hit in, and still is to a great degree.
And then the artificial turf that was first put in here was so springy.
It was very, very fast. It was a very hard surface. It really hurt me. Of course, I was older, 33, 34, 35 my last 3 years in the league when I played here, culminating with that '87 World Series victory. But when I played shortstop here, I felt like I had razor blades in my knees. It was a hard service. I much prefer this one that they have now.
There's a strike with a fastball on the outside corner. There were balls hit here with that old artificial turf and the short wall all the way around. Balls that would hit twice and then go out for ground rule doubles. Seems incomprehensible, but I saw it happen.
It was very bouncy, and of course it was bouncy at the in front of the plate as well. And that was, I mean, Kent Hrbek in 1982, back in his how should we say, leaner days. I mean, he could really run. People forget he was a great athlete, and he'd bounce the ball 2 hops to the shortstop left in the hole and beat it out, or bounce the ball off the turf and beat him out. He got a lot of leg hits and hit 300 the first year or so that on that old turf here.
Well, Burt's rejoined the booth. What happened to the 9?
I have it. I have the 9.
You got to keep the 9?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Rod Carew.
Okay.
Yep. We just need to steal the 2.
Oh, that ball gets by Morneau and down by the bullpen, and Rodriguez will round second. Punto tried to skid and catch it. And so all the way to third base on the Aaron pickoff throw. An error charge to Dickey.
Well, what you want to do as a pitcher is throw it about thigh high to chest high over to that first baseman. I don't know if he threw him a knuckleball or not, but you can see that low throw right there gets away from Justin. Justin trying to keep it, his body in front of it. The ball deflecting away. And again, a speedster scoots from first to third in Rodriguez.
Twins bring the infield in here. 2-2 the count to Figgins.
I can't believe the Twins made me run all the way out there, and I had to come running.
They had a golf
all the
cart for you back here. Don't give us that. So now you, because
almost worked.
You wore number 28 in your years with the Twins, so they had you count down to 28 games left. 3-2. And a pop-up that'll reach the seats. I was talking with Joe Mauer around the batting cage today, and he said, you know, when they started that, they started 100 or something like that last year, 100 games left. You know, it's like, why, you know, why bother? But now everybody looking forward to it. It's kind of fun to count it down game by game, and you realize that we've only got 28 home games left indoors. Whoa, just off the outside corner, and Figgins draws a walk.
Second time that Figgins has walked off of Dickey.
So first and third, nobody out. The Angels, if they haven't scored, have threatened to score in every inning but the first.
Well, that knuckleball not missing by much.
Here's Meiser Asturis. Disappointing night for Misters Gardenhire and Anderson with a short start by Swarzak. Fastball just off the plate.
The Twins need some pop-ups right here. Pop-ups in the infield. Something good to happen. Asturis an RBI second, or single in that 3-run third inning. And that's where you want to throw the ball, right there.
Dickey trying to manage the middle innings here, but a threat for the Angels with Bobby Keppel now starting to warm up in the Twins bullpen. And that drifts wide. 2-0. And Rick Anderson will go to the mound. Red Sox beat the Yankees 14-4. They won the first 3 games of that series. The south side of Chicago.
Yeah, they're facing a Yankee ball club that's playing very good baseball. They had a 3.5 game lead at one time over the Boston Red Sox with that loss. Boston tonight holding a 2-0 lead over the Orioles. They have a chance to get within a half a game of the Yankees.
Tampa Bay beat Kansas City. Bruce Chen did not win. He's trying to pick up his first win since 2005. Here it's a 2-run game. Twins still in it, but the Angels, as they have all night long, threatening to do more damage. Driven to right field, and Asturis puts a 3-spot up on the board. Everybody in the ballpark, I think, knew that Dickey was going to throw a fastball, including the batter.
Well, second time this season that Asturis has hit a home run against the Twins. It's his 5th of the year. A 3-run home run, and the Angels take a 9-4 lead.
The first one was against Dickey too, wasn't it? In the 4th inning of that Saturday game out there. So 3 more for the Angels here in the 6th. Nobody out, and Abreu at the plate. Ball 1. Abreu with an RBI single and a walk. And now a strike, 1-1. Foul back. Meiser Asturis has driven in 4 tonight. Gary Matthews Jr. has driven in 3. Fouled away.
And that home run was against Dickey on Saturday.
And out of left field, Delman Young makes a nice running catch for the first out of the inning. Pretty well hit ball off the bat of Abreu. And that'll bring up Rivera. And it'll bring out Ron Gardenhire. 3 more so far for the Angels in the 6th. Under the Lights, Twins baseball instructionals. Bert Blyleven, Ron Coomer, Roy Smalley bring you a compilation of the best on-field instructionals, teaching you the basics of the game. Under the Lights, Twins baseball instructionals, Monday at 10 p.m.
Well, Bobby Keppel coming into the ballgame is pretty hard on himself last night. He took the blame for that loss with that leadoff walk he had last night. Ended up losing his first game in a Twins uniform.
Strike one.
Keppel making his 13th appearance, and last night's ball game did not retire any of the 3 batters he was asked to get out. ERA shooting up from 3.2 to 4.58.
2 strikes. You gotta like that, though, don't you? I mean, Keppel said it's on me.
Yeah.
I lost the game. I walked the leadoff hitter, and set up the Angels for a big inning. And accountability is always a nice thing. Down and away, 1-2.
Well, he throws such a heavy ball and a hard sinker that I mentioned last night. There's just that little room of error that he has to be able to get that sinker down to work. If it's up, then it flattens out a little bit.
Plastered to left center field, and gone, a home run. So Rivera hits his 18th, and it's a 4-run sixth.
Well, remember what you talked about Mickey Hatcher, or was it Roy Smalley saying about Mickey Hatcher that, if it's low, let it go, just swing hard? That's exactly what Rivera did right there. That was a low fastball, and this ball did not take long to get out. His 18th home run of the year, the second this inning for the Angels. I'll just drop the barrel of the bat and hit that line drive home run.
The plexiglass out there. So Keppel gives up a home run, and now Kendry Morales. Hey, it's kind of hard not to say that we didn't see the Yankees at their best. They beat the Twins all 7 times. But this Angel team looks like if they can keep this going, and they're going to get some pretty good hitters back into the lineup, they look awfully tough to beat. And it's not just because the Twins are having problems against them. They've got a nice lineup. They do a lot of things well. They do a lot of things better than the Yankee lineup does.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, they run the bases extremely well. Yankees may have more power because of the ballpark that they play in, but they can beat you in so many ways. The Angels can.
1-2. There goes another one. A deep blast to right field. into the upper deck. Third home run of the inning.
Bobby Keppel came into this outing only allowing one home run, and that was in Oakland on the recent road trip off the bat of Matt Holliday when he hit the grand slam. That two-seam fastball right into the swing of Morales. He hits his 21st home run of the year.
Here's Napoli. Ball one. Back to the first inning. Anthony Swarzak had a 1-2-3 inning and what, 10, 12 pitches, something like that.
13 pitches.
13 pitches. Since then, I mean, the Angels have had not only men on, but men in scoring position more often than not from the second inning on. And now 3-0. Well, beyond tonight's game, the Twins need Keppel to get some outs here. They have an off day on Monday, but they've already gone through their starter and through their long reliever in Dickey. And there's a strike. Again, they technically have a 7-man bullpen, but one guy's on hold, Dunsing, because they don't know, frankly, whether Liriano's going to be able to take the start in Cleveland next week. Another base hit. 15th hit of the night. And the fans here are getting a little restless. One out, and it was a line drive out off the bat of Abreu. Here's Ibar.
Again, this ball club can flat out hit. They're hitting .288 as a club. 12 points higher than the Yankees.
That's a pretty big margin.
Yes, it is.
Here's Ibar. Leadoff triple and a run scored in the fourth. Sinker tapped to second. And a double play. But for the Angels, 5 more runs on 3 home runs.
But get Matthews trying to stretch that double into a triple for the final out of the second inning.
That was the Frost Brew Coors Light freeze cam. And again, Carlos Gomez got a little extra work for the game today on hitting the cutoff man. And ongoing threat that if you don't start hitting the cutoff man, we'll take you out of the game, find somebody who will. Delman Young will lead off the sixth for the Twins, trying to answer an ugly inning. The Angels scoring 5 more times. Ball 1. Young with a bloop single to center and a run scored in the second. And a roller backhanded by Figgins. Sets himself. And a one-hop throw to Morales. One away.
Well, Morales, nice pick over there at first base. And you saw Figgins right there pointing to him, acknowledging that he made a very nice defensive catch at first. Deep third, set, and the throw a little bit low, but Morales right there to make a nice pick.
Mike Redmond will hit. He's reached twice. Cracked a double, drove in a run in the second, and then fell behind 0-2 to Saunders, and next 4 pitches were off the plate, and Redmond drew a walk leading off the 4th inning.
Yeah, Reds had 2 good at bats, the RBI double in the second inning, and then the leadoff walk. And that's what you need. You want that in an 11-4 ball game. Yeah, these guys are professionals. Mike Redmond, he knows he wants a quality at bat right here.
Two and one. Toward the hole and through, so Redmond's reached all 3 times. A rare hit to the pull side, and he's aboard with 1 out of the 6th. Seems a little silly to say this, but when the Angels are leading by 7, this game may have turned, or maybe kept from turning, in Gomez's last at bat. Right after the Redmond walk, Gomez hit a hard 2-hopper almost right over the third base bag, and Figgins made a great stop, turned it into an out. Twins were down by just 1 run at the time, I think. 1 run or 2. 2 runs, I guess. Well, if that ball got by Figgins, who knows what might have happened in that 4th inning. Outside, 1-1. One and 2. Going to the bottom of the 9th with Detroit leading Cleveland 2-1. Fastball over the inside corner, 2 away. Time for the Quest High Speed Pitch, brought to you by Quest High Speed Internet.
Well, Anthony Swarzak was clocked at 90 and Joe Saunders at 93. Saunders has not won a ball game over his last 6 starts. Plenty of run support here so far tonight.
Punto takes ball 1. One and 1. With a bouncer to short and a strikeout.
You know, the Angels need, Dick, you talked about their offense, great offense, but they need their pitchers also to stay, healthy. Lackey and Weaver, and they need this guy to start getting some more confidence and get back into postseason, because once you get into postseason, you're not going to see too many 11-4 ball games. You're going to have 3-2, 4-3 type games.
Two and 2. It's been amazing. I'm here. The Angels had just a wonderful month of July. Looks like August is going to get off to a good start for them. And the guys you would think would be their marquee guys in their lineup haven't played much. Right up the middle and over second base. Punto has a base hit. Redmond to second base. Punto has his first hit of the night. And that'll bring up Span.
Well, his last at bat, Saunders Got him to strike out on a high fastball. This a fastball down in the zone, and Nick taking it right back up the middle. Saunders trying to do a Frank Viola, the one behind his back.
Span with a bunt single in 3 trips. Breaking ball sweeps over, strike 1.
Saunders, his 100th pitch of the ball game.
Hoping for a comeback. 2 strikes to Span.
Palmer, right-hander, starting to loosen up.
One and 2. Scioscia hoping that he can get at least 6 innings out of Saunders here. Up the middle, and Saunders grabs it.
Well, look what I found.
A line drive headed to center field, but it was intercepted by Saunders. And the Angels have an 11-4 lead. Gary Matthews Jr. will lead things off here in the Angel 7th. Matthews, Rodriguez, and Figgins facing Keppel. Strike on the outside corner. Matthews has done damage here with 3 runs batted in. Drove in the first 2 runs of the game with a double. Singled in a run on the 4th. 1-1.
Well, you don't like to get beat around, but this might be good for Bobby Keppel, and may hopefully get a 1-2-3 inning here. Get some mound time. Hello.
Ready for that foul ball.
Nice one.
Weird swing by Matthews, but a strikeout, and Keppel will take that.
Yeah, there'll be some guys laughing in the dugout right there for the Angels.
Dodge game summary. The Angels had a quick lead. The Twins started coming back.
Yeah, 3-2 pitch. Mike Redmond shooting that ball the other way. That scored Delman Young from first base. Then Carlos Gomez with a triple, an RBI triple, made it a 2-2 ball game. Angels came right back. They added 3 in the top of the third. But guess what? The Twins came back again, made it a ball game, 5-4. And the Angels scored 1 in the fourth, and then broke it open so far with 5 runs in the sixth on 3 home runs.
Swing and a miss by Rodriguez, 2 strikes. Chopper to Creedy. Perfect throw across the diamond. 2 down.
Again, you know, sometimes as a pitcher, you go out there and you get hit around and you find something deep within yourself to try to make some good quality pitches rather than try to make everything perfect. And right there, that's a perfect slider right there that Matthews will hear about it.
2 down on the 7th. Here's Sean Figgins. Fernando Rodney's given back the lead, missing a save opportunity. It's 2-2 in the 9th. And Progressive Field. They went a bunch of innings last night before the Indians finally pulled out a 1-run win, keeping the Twins just 2 games back. Breaking ball down and in, 1-1. Over 40,000 the paid attendance tonight. 40,828.
Great crowd.
2-1 to Figgins, who's walked his last 2 times up. Creedy makes the stop, but Figgins beats it out. He's reached 4 straight times now. Tailgating's fun and affordable on Saturdays with the Our Family brand Saturday Tailgate Party presented by Fox Sports North. For one prize, you get a ticket to the game, an invitation to a pregame barbecue with Twins cap, and alumni autographs. Visit twinsbaseball.com today. All 833 Twins join the Our Family brand's tailgate party on any Saturday this season.
You can't play that better than Joe Creedy did right here off the bat of Sean Figgins, but this guy again has been a pest to the Twins. Once he went down, no chance to get Figgins. They made a great effort right there.
Down low, 2-0. Going to the 10th inning in Cleveland, tied at 2.
And Twins not holding Figgins on with a 7-run lead. Figgins will stay around first base.
Driven deep to center. Gomez going back. Makes a nice galloping catch in center field. As Turris gave it a ride, but Gomez made the catch. Orlando Cabrera will lead off the 7th inning against a new Angel pitcher.
And Matt Palmer coming out of the bullpen, a guy that started against the Twins, 9-1 out of the bullpen. He's made 9 starts, 22 appearances, 85 2/3 innings, 39 walks, 50 strikeouts.
Ibar fires to first. Cabrera retired, 1 away. And that'll bring up Joe Mauer.
Palmer started that ball game against Nick Blackburn on Saturday in Anaheim. The Twins lost 11-5.
Joe with 3 ground balls to the right side, 1 to the first baseman, 2 to the second baseman, 1 of them driving in a run. And he takes a strike. And now a ball, 1-1. Ooh, Napoli had that ball come up and hit him up high. You'd expect tomorrow for Mauer to be catching and Jason Kubel to return somewhere, perhaps as the designated hitter. Jared Weaver, the starter for the Angels tomorrow. Twins will face a couple of lefties early in the Cleveland series, and then closing it out with right-hander Fausto Carmona. Indians unrecognizable almost compared to what they were a year ago at this time. Mark DeRosa traded. He was supposed to be the missing link for the Indians, and instead he was the first one out of town. 3-2. Victor Martinez, Cliff Lee, Ryan Garco. And they're in the top of the 10th, tied at 2. Which isn't to suggest for a moment anybody really wants to play him right now. If I liner off the facing of the Twins dugout, I mean the Tigers are finding that out right now. You know, they have everything in the world to play for. Detroit does, and the Indians are apparently just loosey-goosey, and they're finding a way to win some ball games.
They've got a lot of new faces that want to make an impression with Eric Wedge in the organization, not for the remainder of this year and also for the years to come.
Mauer drives it deep to left. Rodriguez back, and he's there right in front of the wall to make the catch for the second out. Pretty well hit ball for out number 2, and that'll bring up Morneau.
I showed you the numbers on Matt Palmer. Pretty good story. 7+ years in the San Francisco Giant organization. Finally got a chance to make some starts last year. Made 3 starts. 0-2 with an ERA over 8 for the Giants. Signed by the Angels, a minor league contract. Went to spring training. Started the season in AAA. Got called up on April 23rd. And he finds himself right in the middle of things. 9 wins, 1 loss between starting and relieving.
2-0 to Morneau. A couple of sharp singles to center for Morneau in his last 2 at bats against Joe Saunders. Driven to right.
That's out of here.
Gone, a home run. Number 27.
I came into the ball game tied with Mark Teixeira with 26, and they gave up a lot of home runs. As soon as that swing hit the barrel of the bat, that ball met, I knew it was gone.
You actually forced a habit. You asked the home plate umpire for a new baseball after Morneau made contact.
I watch it. I mean, he hit that ball pretty good. I watch it hit the bleachers up there. And right about now, then I would ask for a new ball.
McCready at the plate. He's 0 for 3. Check swing. They'll appeal. No. 2-0. McCready with a couple of ground balls to shorten a foul out to the first baseman. Now to short center, and that will die in front of Matthews. So Creedy's aboard. And that'll bring up Delmon Young.
That's one of those swings as an outfielder. You see the strength of Joe Creedy, and then the ball right off the end of the bat. Matthews had no chance of catching that. But watch the big swing right here. And as I'm sure as a center fielder, you're thinking that ball's going to be hit to me, and it lands in front of me about 20 feet in front of you.
Sliced to the right field corner, but foul. Young blooped a single in front of Matthews and scored in the second inning. Since then, a fly to center and a ground ball to third. Going to the bottom of the 10th, still tied at 2 between Detroit and Cleveland. Young in the lineup, in part because Michael Cuddyer is out of the lineup. The Twins are hopeful of leaving Michael out of the lineup again tomorrow, a scheduled off day on Monday, and then they'll see how his back feels on Tuesday. Twins waited until early this afternoon to make the roster move to get Cabrera on the roster, and that roster move was sending Brian Busher down to Rochester for what will probably be about a month. Cabrera's teams have been in the playoffs for the last 5 years. Breaking ball got him. Twins get one back on a Morneau home run, and we go to the 8th inning with the Angels up by 6. On a Saturday night, with a view of the new I-35W bridge. 2 years ago tonight, Twins were ready to host the Kansas City Royals, but we couldn't play baseball that evening because of the bridge collapse. Very next day, the Twins were supposed to break ground for their new ballpark, and that didn't happen either. Now the ballpark's almost finished, new bridge is up, but we still remember everything that happened that day and the tragedy that befell so many families. And we did play that night, didn't we? It was the next day we didn't play.
Yep.
That's right. Twins decided that to keep people off the road. That's absolutely right. 1-0. And Abreu takes a strike, 1-1. Abreu, Rivera, and Morales scheduled to face Bobby Keppel. Two and 1. Correa hit a home run last night, his next one, and we hope it'll be sometime next week or after. Be his 250th career home run. When he joins the 250 home run group, he'll be on a pretty exclusive list.
Yes, he will.
Surprising name, probably Biggio. He's the only one on that list that is not, well, other than Bonds, I guess, not in the Hall of Fame. One down. And that'll bring up Rivera. Seattle leading Texas 5-1. The Rangers hanging in there. They apparently were hanging in there in the Roy Halladay sweepstakes too up until the very end.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan coming out and saying that they would like to have Halladay in Texas. Well, who wouldn't?
Sky to right center field. Gomez over. Out number 2. You want to learn the basics of baseball? You can stay tuned to the Quest Twins Live postgame show. Bert and Roy break down the techniques and strategies of the game, and in tonight's postgame instructional, we'll look at the relay. The next homestand, I'm actually going to go out there and do an instructional.
Oh, yeah?
I've always wanted to try to catch a fly ball here. Just as an average fan who's seen a lot of baseball here, and I played some softball games and I played some baseball games here, but I've never been out in the outfield trying to catch a fly ball. I want to know what it's like. So on the next homestand,
does anybody know about this?
Yep. Really? It's in the works. They're trying to find somebody to hit me fungos. Or maybe they'll get the machine to fire some fly balls up at me. So I found my motorcycle helmet, and I'm going to go out there and give it a shot.
I told little leaguers wear a cup.
I don't know if anybody who would be watching that will ever learn anything, but I'll learn something. It'll be an instructional for me. I'll get coaching from you and Roy.
Not from me. I'm not helping you.
You're not helping me?
No, I want to see a ball hit you right in the head. I can't wait. When are you doing this?
Next homestand. I think it's Tuesday after the game, I think.
Are you going to dress up in your uniform?
No.
Why not?
Well, why?
You said you wanted to be an outfielder.
No, I didn't say that. I know I'm not an outfielder. I just want to know what it's like to try to catch a fly ball here.
You should wear your uniform.
So what I'm
or
afraid.
Your fantasy camp uniform.
What I'm afraid of is many things, but I'm afraid you guys do the instructional and it's kind of late into the evening. They're going to turn lights off on me, and it's going to be even tougher than it normally is.
That is part of the instructional.
Morales draws a walk. Did you ever, in your time pitching here, did you ever catch a pop-up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, not the high ones that were going to hit you, but yeah, a little pop-up. We are going to get that machine that throws out the knuckleball when it goes.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we might get R.A. Dickey to kind of feed it for you.
1-0 to Napoli. I remember, this would have been 85, 86, something like that. And there had been a pretty well-established reputation here already that this was a tough place to catch fly balls. It was a sinking liner and a base hit for Napoli. They had an old-timers game here. And Willie Horton, of course, was a great left fielder. And he played out here in an old-timers game. And there were about 3 or 4 fly balls hit out there. And Willie Horton, I figured these old-timers are really going to have a tough time here. Willie Horton looked like a Gold Glover out there catching those fly balls.
Well, Mike Napoli picks up his 3rd hit, the first Angel to get 3 hits tonight. Their 17th of the ball game. 19 hits in last night's ball game for the Angels. 17 so far here.
Down and in, ball one. They're going to the 11th inning at Jacobs Field. Excuse me, Progressive Field. Still tied at 2. Well, you can go ahead and use the pop-up machine as long as someone else feeds the machine. I don't want you feeding the machine and
I don't blame you.
Dialing the thing up to 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever, however.
And you know I will.
And now Redmond to the mound to talk to Keppel.
Oh, we got a second here. Ruth Christ from Shakopee Nursing Home. I know you had a bad fall. 90 years old. And I hope you're doing a lot better. Ruth, get well.
Twins have Jesse Crain warming up down in the bullpen. Trying to get through this game, barring a big comeback, and allow Maharis and Guerrero and Nathan a chance to rest up. High hopper over the mound, and Cabrera will run to the bag to end the inning. A walk, a single with 2 out, no damage done, but the Angels have done enough as it is.
Minutes of baseball chatter, and among the topics they will discuss on Quest Twins Live featuring the Toyota postgame wrap, Angels soar. They're having a big night for the second consecutive night. Orlando Cabrera's debut with the Minnesota Twins. Roy will break that down, plus thoughts from Ron Gardenhire, all coming up immediately following this ball game between the Twins and Angels on Quest Twins Live. Dick and Bert.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Slugger. Mike Redmond will lead off the 8th inning against Palmer. There's strike one. Redmond with a good night at the plate. 2 for 2 with a walk. The average up to 257. 2 strikes. Reggie Willits is in right field, replacing Bobby Abreu. One and 2. Angels starting tonight with the best record this side of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Best record in the American League, and not far behind the Dodgers pace. And we've been remarking all year long about how the Dodgers have just been playing so great, and they have. But here are the Angels, after all sorts of adversity, right on their heels. So we would not have a Subway Series if it were the Angels and Dodgers. We'd call that the Freeway World Series, right?
Yeah.
Friedman lifts it to right field, right in the general direction of Willits, 1 away. Let's see where the Angels are and the Dodgers are in their league.
Well, both clubs very, very good ball clubs. The Dodgers have a 8-game lead over the Colorado Rockies and the San Francisco Giants, where the Angels, because of the Texas Rangers, have only a 3-game lead. But both these clubs very, very solid.
Strike one to Gomez.
They won 100 games last year, the Angels did.
1-1.
They won their division by what, 21.5 games. Or 21 games, excuse me.
CarSoup.com email question tonight. Roy Close, Minneapolis, wondering who we think is going to win the American League pennant this year. The Angels looking awfully good. Obviously, the Yankees look pretty good when we face them, too.
Yeah, it's going to come down to, hopefully the Twins are in the race. You know, it's going to come down to the Twin starters, I think, as the season, you know, the last 60 games, starters need to pick it up. Need to pitch deeper in the ball games.
Foul ball. I really like this Angel team. I just, you know, they've been tempered with all sorts of adversity this year. They've fought through all of it, and they just look like they, for a long time now, have been firing on all cylinders.
On the back of their mind, they wear that number 34 for Rick Adenhart on their chest. Believe me, they think about him, and you know that kind of drives you sometimes.
2-2 to Gomez. Foul back.
Yeah, you have to credit a lot to Mike Scioscia and his coaching staff for keeping everybody focused.
And now 3-2.
Angels are not surprisingly in March and April were 9-12. They picked it up a little bit, 16-12, but here, June and July, 17-9 in June and 19-7 in July. And off to a pretty good start here, the first game in August.
And your general manager, Tony Reagan's, one that's got to enter into his thinking too in advance of the trading deadline. Low throw, nice dig at first by Morales, 2 away. Wow.
We've seen a couple times Morales pick that low throw from Figgins. He made a very nice play off the bat of, I believe it was Orlando Cabrera. And right there, excuse me, off the bat of Delmon Young. And right there, that low throw, Morales right there. Showing off some leather.
2 down in the 8th. People who've watched them play on a regular basis say don't forget the Rays. That they could very well pull off the tortoise and hare routine that the Twins have kind of followed over the last couple of years. Lay back in the weeds and then put on a good rush at the end. Past both the Red Sox and the Yankees. Punto with his second straight hit, a 2-out single here in the 8th.
He got his last hit in the 6th inning as a right-handed hitter right there. Good solid swing from the left side of the plate. And Punto does get his second hit and a 12th for the Twins.
If the last handful of years have taught us anything, it's that once you get into the field of 8, nothing else matters. The strangest thing can give a team a spark and they can ride it for the next month. Remember a few years ago when the Cardinals won the World Series, they started out great. They really faded down the stretch. They barely got into the playoffs with 83 wins, but they won that first playoff round, and that was what sparked them all the way through to a World Series championship. 1 strike to Span.
I think about the Seattle Mariners that one year with Lou Piniella. They won 116 ball games and, you know, lost 3 straight to the Yankees in postseason.
Twins went into the playoffs the last time they went into the playoffs on such a high after catching the Tigers after their season had ended. And they lost that first game to Oakland and never really recovered. They had Santana on the mound, and they couldn't recover from Oakland getting the first game of that series. 2-1 to Denard Span. Going to the bottom of the 11th now in Cleveland. Still tied at 2. 3-1.
And Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, going out to talk to his right-hander.
Well, we all know in '87 when the Twins got into the playoffs, they were heavy underdogs against the Tigers and whomever they were going to face in the World Series. But what was it like in '79 with the Pirates? You had, as you did in '87, a playoff round and then the World Series.
Well, we beat the Cincinnati Reds 3 straight to go to the World Series. It was, we were playing very good baseball, but then we had about a week off, maybe 4, 5, 6 days off to get wait, until the series started. We really weren't on any cycle, really, the first 3 or 4 ball games. And in Game 5, Jim Rooker pitched great, 5 shutout innings, and all of a sudden our bats became alive later in that ball game, and we carried that right into Game 6 and 7 in Baltimore and won the series.
Off the leg of the pitcher, and Span will get another infield hit. His first was a bunt single. Now he clanks one off of Palmer's shin. The Twins get a couple of 2-out hits here in the 8th. Orlando Cabrera in his Twins debut contributed to some scoring in the 3rd and played steady in the field.
He's made every play he's been asked to get right here. That was the first play in the first inning that Cabrera made. In his second at bat, shot a double down that right field line.
Three ground ball outs and the double into the right field corner. And another one into the right field corner. Punto will score. Span to 3rd. So Cabrera grounds one sharply into the right field corner and drives in his first run as a Twin.
Yeah, right under the glove of Morales, who was playing him a little bit off the line. And Cabrera just shoots that ball. Look at him. He just going to just go down and just hit that ball down that first baseline. Punto scores. And it's 11.
Can hit.
Yes, he can. I think we knew that when the Twins picked him up. His first RBI as a Twin. Driving in Punto. Shane Lukes coming out of the bullpen, making Lukes' 13th appearance. He made 6 starts for the Angels. Spent some time on a disabled list this year with a right shoulder strain.
Now the Twins hope to put the squeeze on the Angels here. They got a couple runners aboard for Mauer, who hit a 3-run home run last night. Down and in, ball 1. Go 2 for 4 in his matchups with Luke, but 0 for 4 here tonight. Hit the ball hard his last time up, lining out to the warning track in left field.
I took Rodriguez all the way to the warning track, right against the fence.
Same spot, same result. So Mauer with 2 line drives to left and an 0 for 5 night. The Twins get 3 straight singles with 2 outs to score a run. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And Jesse Crain comes into the ball game to pitch to the Angels in the 9th.
Yeah, Jesse, since being recalled, this is his 6th appearance out of the bullpen. Last night, did not retire a batter in the 3 batters he faced.
And Punto with the catch, and Jesse has had that happen so many times. It happened in his return to the major league roster after his call-up. First pitch, just a little chopper that found a hole, and black cloud that keeps following Jesse Crain continues here tonight.
That high chopper over the mound, Punto had no play, and Gary Matthews Jr. picks up his 3rd hit, and the 18th for the Angels.
Twins have 14 hits, and just looking at my score sheet, 10 of those 14 hits have come with 2 out in an inning. Ordinarily, that's a really good sign, but the Twins haven't done much before there were 2 outs. They've left a lot of 2-out hits on the bases. Sean Rodriguez, the hitter. Crain rears back and throws one by him, 1 strike. Strikes.
Good fastball, good location.
Cabrera gets in front of it. Out there. Safe at first. Play by Cabrera. He tried to get in front of the ball and deliver maybe a stronger throw to Punto.
Had a little trouble getting that ball out, but another, he's very steady at short. Gets the ground ball right there, has to go to his right. And then right there, that flip over to Punto. Now it's Punto's turn. But Rodriguez just too quick down that line.
The Detroit-Cleveland game went 13 innings last night. They're going into the 12th tonight, tied at 2. Here's Figgins. He didn't get to play in the game, but he was a very late addition to the American League All-Star team, and I couldn't be happier. He has just worn the Twins out over the years and seems to be the catalyst of so much of the Angel offense, and he got added very late. Back to Crane, to Cabrera, and a double play.
I don't see that too often.
Figgins hitting into a double play. Just 3 men bat the ninth. An impact in this game, just not enough of an impact, I guess.
Well, the Angels in these first 2 ball games so far, 22 runs scored, 37 hits, and it's been a combination of a lot of them. And Orlando Cabrera, you see tonight, a single, double, RBI, scored a run.
Well, last hope for the Twins, and Justin Morneau will lead things off.
Justin having a good night at the plate, an RBI base hit in the 3rd inning, a base hit in the 5th, and then a home run, his 27th in the 7th.
Popped up and back into the seats. Strike on the outside corner. Morneau, Creedy, and Young. Foul over the Twins dugout. Twins in danger of dropping back to the 500 mark, and that's the way this season has gone. They've spent most of the first 3 months below the 500 mark. They'd bubble up 2 and then over and then back. Really only the Tigers have consistently been above the 500 mark, and Tigers are a flawed team, but give them their props. They they have stayed in front in the division almost all year long. Tap foul. Well, the White Sox now playing very good baseball after getting swept here and really going through, I don't know if it was a hangover after Mark Burley's perfect game. But they didn't play real well, and now they go home and they've taken the first 3 from the Yankees, and it looks like they're going to be right on the heels of the Tigers now for a while. 1-2 to Morneau. Sharply hit, but Ibar is there. 1 away. And that'll bring up Creedy. Single his last time up. One thing that's encouraging for the Twins, they have the best record, best winning percentage within the division. They're 20-12 against Central Division teams. They also, by far, have played the fewest games within the division. After tonight's game, they have 58 games left, and 40 of them within the division. Skied straight up behind the mound. This Turris with the catch, 2 away.
And those 40 games will start when we go to Cleveland. Starting Tuesday. 3 games there and then 3 games in Detroit.
So if the Twins continue to play well against the American League Central teams, might be able to take that middle banner over to Target Field with an addition. Twins have been out of the playoffs the last couple of years, would like to get back in. Last hope for the Twins, Delmon Young, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Fly ball center field, bending right toward Gary Matthews Jr. The Angels have won this series, and the Twins have dropped back to the 500 mark.
Well, a lot of pressure on the starter tomorrow, Glenn Perkins, to go deep into the ball game. He'll be facing Jarrett Weaver, who has 10 wins on the year. So hopefully Perkins will get a quality start tomorrow